newspapers and all over the world. And she wrote to and received a reply from the Soviet president, Yuri Andropov. And she toured the Soviet Union for 2 weeks at the invitation of the Soviet government. And I can't wait to find out how she enjoyed the trip. Would you welcome Samantha Smith? Welcome home. Yeah, I know you were excited the last time we talked about going to the Soviet Union, right?
Yes.
And how what kind of reaction did you get to your last appearance on this show? Did you get a chance to see it later in the evening?
Not later in the evening.
Oh?
I fell asleep, but...
I know the feeling. Somebody told me where you lived or something. They didn't carry it, or
Yeah.
your friends didn't get to see it for some reason?
I got bummed by the Boston Red Sox game.
They had a Boston Red Sox game, and they didn't get to see that episode.
Right.
Well, that's too bad. But you got the tape later,
right?
Yeah. Well, tell me about the trip now. How do you prepare? The problem I have when I go on a trip, and they say it's tougher for women, is what to pack. You know, men throw a couple of sport coats and slacks and a couple of shirts, and we go. Now, how did you prepare?
Well, since we were gonna be meeting lots of kids.
Right.
And other people. So we packed about 2 suitcases of presents and gifts, hats, pencils, T-shirts,
Right.
so on. And then the rest of it, we just packed clothes.
Just clothes, huh?
Yeah.
Did they like the gifts? What did the gifts did most of the Russian youngsters like to get? T-shirts? You give them T-shirts with, you know...
I don't know what
things
they
on the
like
front?
best, but
Yeah?
to the kids, we'd give out, like, hats and T-shirts, and the grown-ups, pencils, pins.
Right. Now you landed in Moscow. That was your first stop.
Mm-hmm.
What was your first impression when you arrived at the city of Moscow? You probably read about it and you've seen pictures, but...
Well, when I first got to Moscow, the airport, it looks American. I wasn't sure if we were in Moscow or not.
And they have our planes already? No, you mean it's like American airports?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah? You expect to see different looking airplanes or what?
Well, not really. They're pretty much the same, except the names of them are printed in Russian.
Right. Who met you at the airport?
Natasha and Gennady. I didn't catch the last names.
Yeah. Well, it's nice when you're in a foreign country to be on a first name basis anyway. But Natasha? Natasha.
And Gennady.
And Gennady? Is that a young man? Or was that...
They're both grown-ups.
Well, both grown-ups. Now, were they representing the Soviet government or officials of the...
Well, they worked for the Friendship House.
Right.
And Natasha.
That means, you know, all that means is we have to cut away to do a commercial.
Oh.
Yeah, well, can we come back and finish? I want to find out all about this trip, okay? Okay, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. It's like getting caught laughing in church, isn't it? All of a sudden, it's on, you go, Yeah, we were talking. She said you was nervous. You're not really nervous. You're very calm tonight. Does anybody ever call you Sam instead of Samantha?
Most people do.
You like that? Or do you prefer Samantha? Is Sam okay?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't make any difference. You were talking about these 2 friends you made, Nastasia and...
Natasha.
Natasha. I don't speak Russian. Natasha and...
Gennady.
And you said they worked for the...
Friendship House.
Yeah. Did any of the people who met you at the airport speak any English at all?
Natasha is also my interpreter.
Ah.
So I got to be pretty close to her.
That's nice. Did you pick up any Russian at all? A few phrases?
Just a little bit.
Well, what'd you learn?
Спасибо, очень хорошо, хорошо.
Yeah. I don't know what any of those words mean.
Bolshoi.
Bolshoi ballet. You know what Bolshoi means, really?
Great.
Yeah, great or big. That's all it
You
means.
said you didn't know any Russian.
No, I didn't. I knew what it meant. Caught in a lie again. No, I just happen to know that most people think that had some significance just mean big or great ballet, the Bolshoi Ballet. All I know is niet, really, which is no.
Yes.
It's a difficult language to learn, isn't it?
No, not really.
No, it isn't. You're going to be a killer when you grow up. You are. Okay, what do you think of the Russian food? Now, you've been asked, I'm sure, most questions since you've been back by lots of people, but I'm interested in your interpretation.
Well, some of it I wasn't crazy about, but my favorite is chicken Kiev.
Chicken Kiev.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah. That's right outside of Moscow. It's a small town. Chicken Kiev, yeah. That's just good. That's very tasty. Did you get anything like, did you ever get in the mood for a good hamburger or something while over there?
Oh, yeah, when we went to see the American ambassador that was in Russia,
Right.
we got to have hamburgers and French fries and all sorts of American food.
And you were ready for it about that time, weren't you? Now, they tell me the subways. Did you get a chance to see any of the
Yes.
subways at all?
Absolutely.
Tell me about
Beautiful.
those. Tell me about it. They say they're gorgeous.
They are really, on the ceilings, they're painted like little tiles, you know, the rocks.
Right, like little murals or something?
Yeah.
Huh.
And pictures painted of war or something, showing the miseries or something like that.
Right.
And then other ones, other subway terminals are painted white and gold. And it looks just like a really expensive church or something.
That's what I hear. They say they're beautiful. Do they actually have chandeliers hanging in the subways?
Yes, they do.
Chandeliers?
Chandeliers.
Wonder how long those would last in New York. We have paintings in New York subways also. Number 5 aerosol can, I think that's it. Okay. Now you took some presents, T-shirts and stuff and so forth. You got a lot of things too, didn't you?
Yes.
What did you get?
Well, a lot of it, I'm jealous of some of the kids because they sew so well. I got lots of stuffed animals that were sewn by them by hand.
Right.
And they look like they were just bought in a store. They're
Beautiful
really
made.
good.
Yeah. So you got some stuffed animals.
Mm-hmm. And then I got books about Russia
Right.
and mostly books and stuffed animals.
Yeah.
And, oh, I did get a Russian beauty costume.
Russian beauty costume.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Somebody might have seen it on TV. It's got sort of like a crown,
Mm-hmm.
and then a dress.
Yes. They're very, very lovely costumes. Are they got any girls as pretty in Russia as you are?
I think most of them are prettier.
Really? Oh, they must be knockouts then. Somebody told me you went to, was it a summer camp or a version of a summer
Yes.
camp for a few days with a...
Artec.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really surprised. Usually I'm really shy to meet new kids. But I was so surprised as soon as I touched the ground from getting down the stairs off the plane, they grabbed me and pulled me onto the bus.
Yeah? So kids are pretty much the same everywhere, you think, huh?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you didn't get to meet Yuri Andropov, did you?
No.
What did they tell you was going on? Why didn't you get a chance to meet him?
They just said that he was too busy.
Just,
Too busy.
yeah, I guess world leaders get pretty busy sometimes. What kind of a send-off did you have when you came home?
Well, when we were our second to last day in Moscow, second to last day there, some really important deputies came to our hotel to talk to us and brought over some presents, which is a giant samovar, a book, and a hand-painted box. I opened the box, and it was freshly painted because you could smell the paint.
Ah, you did pretty well. You think you'd like to live in Russia at all?
Well, it's nice to visit there. I'd rather live in my hometown.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Of course, you're over there, you know, they probably show you, they kind of showcase everything and show you all the very nice things about Russia. Mm-hmm. And there's probably some things that maybe you're not aware of at your young age that a lot of people are not too happy about in that country. But I don't suppose you saw too much of that side, did you? Did any of the children over there, when they talk with you, have anything to say, ask you to say when you got back here, or no particular message or anything?
No?
Yeah. Are you planning, do you think you're going to keep in contact through letters with any of your friends you met?
Oh, we're nowhere close to being definite about this, but I made a really close friend, Natasha, not the Natasha I was talking about before, but little Natasha. I met
Little Natasha.
I met her in Artec. She's 13, but my size.
Right.
She speaks very good English, I think. She says she doesn't have very good English, but I think it's good. We're thinking about we might invite her to America sometime.
Hey, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think that exchange idea of young people going from, like the student exchange program they have in many lands, is a very good idea.
Yeah.
Have to start making contact with other peoples somewhere, even if you disagree with them, and that's not a bad way to do it, through the young people, is it? Well, you're a charming young lady. The press has been following you all over the place. Are you getting tired of that at all?
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of? Answering a lot of the same questions and
Well,
kind of being in the public eye?
actually, some of the cameramen and some of the people I've gotten to be good friends with, like
Yeah.
Scotty is one of the cameramen for Channel 6, and I've gotten to be friends with Barbara Quill, too.
Yeah, good for you. Well, you're a delightful young lady. I thank you for coming back and telling us about your trip. And I hope we'll see you again sometime.
I hope so, too.
Okay, thank you, Sam. That was fun. She's a nice young lady.